Assalamualaikum. Welcome back. Okay, so for this session, I'm gonna present to you the chapter 4, emotion. So let me share with you the slide. Okay, so this is chapter 4. Work-based emotion, attitudes and stress. So basically chapter 4 is quite big because it's cover work-based emotion, and then we touch on the attitudes, and then we also touch on the stress. Okay, so this is certain things that we're gonna learn. So what is emotion? So basically most of these OB theories assume that person is governed by the cognition. It means that a person behavior is governed, is controlled by their logical thinking. They think first before they act. But later, neuroscience finds out that perception, attitudes, decisions, and behavior are also influenced by the emotion too. And then if there is emotion involved, then it's also have greater influence. Okay, so emotional, but psychologically, behaviorally, and physiologically episodes experienced towards an object, person, and event that create a state of readiness. Mean that episode happen for a short period of time. It's not more. Sometimes in the longer terms, you are moody today. You don't want to do anything. Why you are moody? Why you have this kind of mood? Because of no reason. Sometimes it's not directed towards anything. But emotion is directed towards someone or something. If you angry to your daughter, you're angry to your friends, or maybe you're feeling happy for your friends. So emotion is an episode. It means that it happens for a short period of time, not in longer term. Okay, and then sometimes it's create a state of readiness. What do you mean by state of readiness? Okay, so this is the emotion. Emotional experience. They represent change in our physiological states. When you feel angry, what is your blood pressure? What happened to your blood pressure? It's increased, right? And the heart rate also increased because of the feelings of angry. Psychological state. When you are angry, can you think logically or maybe wisely? Right? When you are angry, what is your facial expression to the behavior? Normally, people angry, sometimes people laugh, or maybe they showing the angry face, okay? Like the emoticon, the angry face, all red color, okay? So that is the emotion. And sometimes emotion reaction are subtle. You are unaware about you being angry, or maybe your facial expression change, because this feeling, this emotion is actually inside. It easily can be seen through the behavior, your facial expression. When you are sad, when you are angry, can be easily can see through your facial expression. Okay, and an emotion also put us in a state of readiness. Mean that what you should do. So kalau you are afraid of something, contoh, muka takut you, okay, you're afraid. You see a dog, a stray dog, and then the stray dog is coming to you fast, in a fast moment. So how can you, what should you do? Okay, what should you do? This stray dog It's very fierce stray dogs. Okay, what should you do? Put us in a state of readiness. Should you run away, or maybe should you just stand like that? Okay, okay, either, right? So that is state of readiness. So this is types of emotion. We have in terms of activation, we have high activation negative emotion, low activation negative emotion, high activation positive emotion, and also low activation positive emotion. So those who high activation, it means that it also have high level of effect on our behavior. Okay, low activation, it means that there's nothing happens with your behavior. So if you're bored, tired, drowsy, although it's a negative emotion, sometimes people cannot detect what is your actual feelings because it doesn't appear um, through your facial expression, maybe through your behavior. If you feel quiet, tranquil, tenang, and still, it doesn't affect your behavior. So if you feel relaxed, content, or calm, although it's positive, but it doesn't affect your behavior. So high activation in terms of negative, like distress, rasa tertekan, and fear, rasa takut, jittery, rasa macam gigil. Okay, so basically these are the things that will have high activation. It means that high in terms of your behavior. Okay, strong effect on our actions. The balance is strong. Okay, especially if you are aroused and astonished and stimulated. And also if you are enthusiastic, elated and excited, there's a two group, enthusiastic, elated and excited. So basically you tend to they tend to appear from your behavior, maybe your facial expression. If you decide that you win a game, menang 10,000 main Dota, so you melompat keriangan because you feel elated, lompat keriangan. Okay, so basically that is types of emotion. So all emotion has associated balance. The core effect is signaling the event of the object should be avoided or approached. It means that you're happy. Contohnya, you see someone that it's very long time you never see this person, and then you feel excited, you terus lari terus jumpa because of you being knocked down right now kan. So nampak je your mother or father kan terus berlari, peluk, cium. So basically all those enthusiastic or elated or excited kind of emotion, we have this kind of core effect. Okay, the one may be because of you fear of the dog, and you run like Usain Bolt. Okay, so all emotion evaluate environmental conditions, good or bad, helpful or harmful, positive or negative. So basically, sometimes we use our emotion to evaluate the environment, especially when we don't familiar with the environment, we don't know we don't have the experience before. So we use emotion. Okay. And negative emotion tends to generate stronger level of activation compared to the positive emotion. Negative generate high level of activation. Okay, so instead of you feel elated, excited, the fear and distress and jittery are giving more after effect to your behavior compared to this positive emotion. Okay, so we have to be careful. And level of activation can trigger the motivation. Okay, so then they affect our behavior. So that's why we have these concepts of anger management. So because of people who are angry, they tend to do something that out of ordinary, extraordinary. Like when you are angry, you shout. When you are angry, then you do like aggressive things. So that's why we have to learn how to control this negative emotion, right? So attitudes from beliefs to behavior. This is how the emotional episode influence the cognitive process. Okay, so actually, the attitudes comprise of three things, three processes: belief, feeling, and behavior intention. This is the normal way, normal highway when we want to uh, predict the behavior from the perceived environment. Okay, but there's another highway that consists of emotional processes, means that there's a lot of emotional episode happen, and then when it happens, and of course, if this emotional episode have uh, stronger effect, then we can override all those attitudes, belief, uh, calculated feelings, and the intention. The rooster go to the judgment, go to the behavior. So it's very dangerous. So you have to know how to control this negative emotion. Okay, so attitude represent a cluster of belief, assess feeling, and behavior attention towards a person, object, and event called attitude object. So attitude is a judgment, emotion, or experience. So judgment means you have thorough thinking, okay, what suppose we do and what we should do, okay, and then how we should react, the feelings and emotion operate as event without our awareness. Sometimes we do not aware that we are angry. Okay, attitude might be operate unconsciously, but usually we aware. This is our attitude because we calculate this is assess feeling. This is our belief. And we express emotion very briefly. Attitudes of someone is much more stable. This emotion, that's why we call it episode because very brief. Okay. So to understand the attitude through these three cognitive components is belief or established perception about the attitudes object, what you believe to be true. Okay. What is your belief? Feeling is represent positive or negative evaluation of the attitudes object. It's assess feeling. Okay? You control whether it's positive or negative. You have control over that. And then intention is present the motivation to engage in particular behavior. Okay? Niat. So before you do that, you have this intention. You ada niat. Then you do. Then you take action. But the thing is, emotional episode also have the same parallel highway towards your behavior. So basically, if you don't able to control the emotional episode and turn out to become negative, then it's affecting the behavior. Okay? So, for example, like when you interviewing someone, okay, and then supposed to be following this way of cognitive process, going through the belief, feelings, and behavior intention, and then go to your behavior. You are interviewing someone, and this person has this face that you don't like, and it's make you angry. What happened to the interviewee? If you don't control this emotional episode, of course, he didn't get the job, right? Okay, so basically, you have to control the emotional episode. So cognitive model of attitudes, belief, feelings, intention. The effect of feelings on behavior intention depend on conditions. For example, like unique experience, personal values, self-concept. So there's a lot of things that is really considered when they decide, when you want to decide whether it's positive or negative. And these models are the best predictor of person behavior, but the strength of the linkage can be further explained by mass model. Okay, so ini when you want to try to explain how the emotion affect the behavior. Although you have cognitive process, but this emotional episode is somehow have stronger effect and then can override all those cognitive process. Okay? The process started with perception of the world around us. For example, yang related to the organization attitudes were emerges. What are emotion experience? Worry, nervousness, and relief. And this emotion transmitted to reasoning process where they logically analyze along other information. Okay, so while you evaluating on the attitude, your emotion is already set the core of vaccine. Contohnya, especially when we confronting a conflict. So we often listen into our emotions, okay, because it has a stronger effect. Okay, so that happened. Right. So we go to this emotional disorder. Okay, we go to the emotional disorder. Managing emotion at work. So we have this emotional dissonance. It is difficult to display expected emotion accurately and to hide your emotions. So basically, emotional dissonance happens during work because of this employee have to show different kind of emotion, but they actually experience different kind of emotion. So you have a bad emotion, but because of the work, you have to show different kind of emotion, calm emotions. Okay, so we have this surface acting and deep acting actually. So surface acting is they pretend that they feel expected emotion even though they actually experience different emotion. That is surface acting, and then it's quite stressful. So you have to do this deep acting at least because it's quite less stress. Okay, you have to know how to change your emotion from inside. Okay, right. Normally, we can relate to this emotional dissonance to the flight attendants occupation, where they have to remain pleasant to unruly passengers more easily when they define themselves by their customer service skills. So basically, they have to become pleasant, cheerful person, calm. So then they have to know how to cater all these emotional disorders. Another way from this surface acting, we have this deep acting. Deep acting is where you visualize reality differently, mean that you imagine happy things that can produce emotion that is much more consistent with the required emotions. Okay, and then you can face these angry passengers or maybe difficult passengers much more better. Okay, when you have this deep acting, right? So done with that, we go to this emotional intelligence or what we call EI. What is EI? A set of abilities to perceive and express emotion, assimilate emotion in thoughts, understand and reason with emotion, regulate emotion in oneself and others. So EI is also important, okay, because you're aware of your emotion, you're aware of other emotion, and you're able to manage your own emotion and manage others' emotion. It happens to be very important when you start to work soon because of uh, having a very stable emotion can improve your performance. Okay, so this is the model of AI. We have the lowest model up to the highest one. Okay, we have self-awareness that you only perceive and understand the meanings of your emotion. Ability to perceive and understand the meaning of our own emotion. Higher emotional intelligence have better awareness of their emotion and able to make sense of them. So they're aware. Kalau dia marah, then dia tahu, okay, I'm angry right now. I feel angry right now. So what should I do? Okay, you aware about yourself. Self-manage is managing our own emotion. So what is managing our own emotion? So something that we do to some extent, we keep disruptive impulse to check. We try not to feel angry or frustrated. Walaupun kita marah, but we try to manage, we try to reduce the feelings of angry and frustrated. We try to feel, express joy and happiness towards others. So that is self-management, managing our own emotion. And then that higher levels of EI is social awareness, where you perceive and understand meanings of others' emotion. So that is also related to the empathy. Okay? You can have the understanding and sensitivity to the feelings, thought, and situation of others. Right? Social awareness. Not social distancing. Include understanding of person's situation, like expressing his emotion, knowing his or her needs. Okay? So you faham, if happen to me, then I will feel the same thing. So it's such empathy. Okay, sama je macam empathy, social awareness. Relationship management is you manage others people emotion. So this is the highest model of emotional intelligence, where you can console people who feel sad, emotionally inspired team members to complete the class project. You able to motivate or give inspiration to your friends. So maybe make jokes and then people laugh to your jokes. Then you have highest relationship management. Okay, managing other people's emotions. For example, like when you go to this motivational camp and then this speaker, they manage to make you cry, right? So this managing other people's emotions, the highest level of EI, relationship management. Actually, there's a courses for emotional intelligence that you can learn, and then you can learn to become the expert in EI and make others cry or make others laugh, right? Okay. So, improving emotional intelligence. So, basically, EI is also associated with some personality traits as well as the parental EI. So, if you want your daughter, your son, or your children to have this better emotional intelligence, then you, as a parent, should have better emotional intelligence because it's inherent. Okay, and EI now become a selection criteria. You can learn this emotional intelligence. Okay, you can have a courses or training, and then can be learned especially through coaching. And one more thing is about emotional intelligence is increased with age and maturity. So, um, if let's say now you have unstable emotion, you don't know how to control the emotion, you just get distracted or stressed or angry, right? So basically, it's don't worry, it's increased with the age and maturity. Alright. So we have another one that is covered under this chapter, that is job satisfaction. What is job satisfaction? It's a person evaluation of his or her job and work context. So it means that there's a lot of factors affecting this job satisfaction or evaluation of the job. Maybe the job itself ataupun the work context, the environment. So a collection of attitudes about specific facet of the job. Okay, so it's appraisal. Maybe the work environment, maybe some sort of emotion experience at work. Okay, so if you look at the page 102 from the textbook, exhibit 4.4, we have is higher satisfaction in Norway, in the United States, lower in Japan, Hong Kong, Hungary, China. So basically, high job satisfaction in India and US, and low satisfaction in Asian countries such as Japan, Hong Kong. agree it's not Asian. That might be because of China and Japan workers like to subdue their emotion in part. So they don't like to express their emotion. They tend to be neutral. So kalau in terms of questionnaire tu, dia akan tanda in the middle, not sure. Okay, so this is among the response of dissatisfaction of job. Okay, we have four types of responses. First one is leaving the situation, we call it venting, quitting or transferring. If you don't satisfied with the job, then you quit. Voice is where you try to change the situation, try to voice out. Voice is any attempt to change or rather than escape. We try to solve the problem that dissatisfied you with the job. It can be constructive, such as recommending ways how to do that. Okay, and then can be confrontational, such as finding a former rival. Rivals macam you ada benda yang tak puas hati and then you find rivals to your company. Okay. Or maybe forming a coalition to oppose a decision, buat mogok ke, buat pakatan ke. In the extreme, some employee might engage in the counterproductive behavior, or sometimes can lead to negative behavior such as counterproductive behavior to get attention and force change in the organization sometimes because we want to get the attention. Yeah? Okay. Loyalty, so basically this is not the outcome of job dissatisfaction, rather than it is predicted when people choose. When they have high loyalty, they will patiently waiting for the situation to improve. So they do nothing. Okay, and then generally they suggest these loyalists are employees who respond to dissatisfaction by suffering silence. So they do nothing. They say nothing. Okay. Neglect is reducing work effort for quality and increasing absenteeism. So basically, when you have dissatisfaction at work and then you choose neglect, not good because of neglect sometimes it's considered a passive activity and then it has negative consequences to you and to the organization. It reduces your reputation, make your reputation bad because of this absenteeism and lateness. It's reducing your work efforts, means that the quality of work is being jeopardized. We are not doing your job well, then you pay less attention to the quality. Okay, so if let's say you have dissatisfaction, choose the other three, not the fourth one, in neglect. Okay. So, how they respond depend actually by individual personalities, value and self-concept. Okay, personality orang-orang berbeza kan. Orang personality according to Big 5 and 8 personality according to MGT430. Then we have 10 values to be considered and then we have self-concept. Okay, then self-concept to be considered. How do you see yourself? High conscientiousness personality less likely to engage in neglect. So those who are passive person, they takkan choose the fourth option. So they don't do this neglect. They don't jeopardize their work and reputation because of this dissatisfaction. They are most likely to engage in voice. They say something that is satisfied and try to improve. And past experience also influence the EPL and which EPL and that you choose. So if let's say that in the past you already choose voice but nothing happened, then you tend to maybe choose another one. Loyalty influence EPL and choice. How loyalty tends to exist. Low loyalty tend to exist. In high loyalty, then these loyalists will suffer in silence, do nothing. And situation also affect decision on EPLN too. If you're the only one, the breadwinner for the family, then you will not choose exit because of if you don't have any other job, then you will stay. You being loyal because you have no choice. Okay. And then job satisfaction and performance. So happy workers are somewhat more productive workers. So basically, attitude is the poor predictors of specific behaviors. Job performance affects satisfaction only when rewarded. Okay. So basically, performance affects satisfaction with rewards. Okay. Its effective performance is strongest in complex job because of greater employee influence on job performance. So basically, how job satisfaction factor performance. Okay. And job satisfaction also can be seen as the kita panggil apa? Increase, and they leverage to this customer satisfaction. They affect this customer also because those who are happy at work affect the mood and lead to positive behaviors to the customers. And then job satisfaction reduces employee turnover, resulting in more consistent and convenient service. Okay. So we go to the commitment, organizational commitment. What is organizational commitment? So basically, you can see the motivation of employees through this commitment, engagement. Okay, so overall job attitudes. We have two types of job commitment. We have an effective commitment, we have continuous commitment. So basically, what is effective commitment? Effective is emotional attachment to identification with involvement in an organization. It means that you do the job because of the passion. You have a feeling or emotional attachment towards your job. That's why you do the job and you don't mind doing it for a long hours. Okay, you have to stay back, do the job, then you don't care because you have this effective commitment. Continuous commitment is a very calculative attachment because you stay because it's too costly to do. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, you have no other options. So you stay because of you have something you have to pay, or maybe because of the benefit, or maybe because of this is the company that have offered a higher pay. Okay, so that is the continuous commitment. So what are the consequences of effective and continuous commitment? So effective commitment can affect retention. It can affect retention and also motivation, organization citizenship, and job performance as well as customer satisfaction. But this kind of person that have effective commitment is not that creative. Okay, less creativity because it can lead to conformity. Conformity means that you are doing the same thing, right? Continuous commitment can be dysfunctional, lead to lower performance and less OCD because you are very competitive. You stay because you don't have any choice. So you just do a job, just an ordinary job. Okay, low performance, less OCD, doesn't have other people, I just do my job. Okay, less likely to engage in other people and more likely to use formal drivers as well as employee in effective and commitment engaged in the cooperative problem solving. Okay, so dia effective ni dia lebih menolong compared to continuous commitment, dia a bit selfish. Okay, so this is among the ways or the strategies how you can improve this effective commitment. You can build up the effective commitment. First one is justice or support. Effective commitment can be achieved through this applying humanitarian values. This means that this company should show that they are fair, they are courteous, forgiving, they have high moral integrity. Okay, so mean that justice and support can show that this kind of organization support employee well-being. they care about their employees. So it also can create effective commitment. Shared value. Definition of this shared value is the value that uh, been introduced by the company. Okay, and then this value are congruent with the personal values. Okay, company values and personal values are congruent, so shared values. So basically, when we have these congruent values, then employees are feel positive. Okay, because the values are congruent. What they need is also the needs for the company, so they can live and they can stay with this company. And then trust. Trust is positive expectation one person has towards another in situation involving risk. The employee trust organization leaders. Okay? So trust means putting faith in other person or group. So it's reciprocal activity. To receive trust, you also have to trust the employee. So basically, trust also can affect this effective commitment. And we have this organizational comprehension to let the employees know where your companies are heading for. So basically, maybe in terms of strategy direction, maybe history or social dynamic or physical layout, maybe you should let the employee know where your company is heading for. What is the past of your company and now what is the present location of your company. So, uh, where is your company heading for? Because when they do and then they feel secure, they feel secure that this company are willing to share and have a very open and rapid communication with us. So basically, it can uh, maintain this effective commitment. And last one is employee involvement. Employee feel parts of the company when you involve them in making decisions. Okay, so when this employee been involved, they feel that employee psychological ownership and the social identity towards this company. So involvement demonstrates trust. So this means the organization trusts the employee. So basically building the trust is by showing that you trust the employee. So this is among the way how you can uh, build up this effective commitment. So done with that, we go to the stress. Are you stressed right now? Yes, I'm actually stressed because I have to work from home. Okay, so what is stress? An adaptive response to a situation that is perceived as challenging or threatening to the well-being. Mean that when adaptive response is not a disease, stress is not a disease, it's kind of response to adapt to a situation where you think or where the person thinks is quite challenging or maybe threatening to the person's well-being. For example, like you you have a test. Are you stressed? Yes, of course. And then because of the stress, because of this test, you are stressed, and then you make preparation because you want to reduce the stress. Okay, by studying, maybe allocating maybe 2 hours or 1 hour per week for studying to prepare yourself for the test, and then you feel less stress. Okay, so it's not a disease. So stress also can be shown in a condition in terms of physiological and psychological that prepare us to adapt to the hostile or noxious environmental conditions. This means that when you feel stress, you you tend to do something to lessen the stress and to maybe to make you prepare for the worst case scenario. So basically that is stress. We have eustress, we have distress. Eustress is a good stress, distress is a negative stress. Okay. So degree of distress degree of physiological, psychological behavior deviation from healthy functioning. We call it eustress is activate and motivate people to achieve goal and change the environment and succeed in their life of challenge. So if you feel stressed because of the test, it means that is a eustress. If you feel stressed because of the things that not related to something that benefit to you, or maybe you feel stressed because of conflict, interpersonal conflict, then it's also distress. Okay. So stress, people are feeling this stress more than 500 years ago. So it's not you alone. So the ancient people also feel stress. Okay, so stress can be shown in this general adaptation syndrome, where it shows there's a 3 stages. Okay, we have alarm reaction, we have resistance, and we have exhaustion. So ability to cope with this stress. Show that this alarm reaction showing the curve to go down because of you are having this lack of capability with cope to the stress, and then you try to resist, and then you can see the curve is going up. And then if you being in stress condition for a longer period of time, you feel exhausted emotionally, physically, and then your ability to cope will go down again, and then through deplete until it becomes worse. Okay, so basically, this is the consequences of distress. Okay, if you don't know how to manage the stress, stress also can influence you physiologically. It means that it can affect your cardiovascular disease. Heart can be affected. Hypertension, blood pressure, headache, migraine. Okay, so that is mean this stress influence or affect your physiological. And then in terms of behavioral, in terms of work performance, when you feel distressed, your performance will be affected, and then you might involve in the accidents because you're not focused, and then you tend to have this absenteeism. You don't come to work, and you like to practice aggression. You being aggressive, and then you make poor decisions. In terms of behavioral, and then stress also affect the psychological. You always feel dissatisfied, and then create you become someone that have a very bad mood. And then depression. This is the disease. Okay, you feel depressed, and then you feel emotionally fatigued, and then you burn out. Burn out is basically an emotional fatigue. Okay, reduce the feeling of personal accomplishment. So basically, this is the consequences of not control or not monitor the stress, distress. Okay, so this is the job burnout process. So what is stressor? What the causes of stressor? Stressor are the causes of stress. Faktor penyebab, faktor penggerak. Any environmental condition that plays physical or emotional demands on the person. Maybe in the workplace, there's a lot of workplace stressor. For example, like organization constraint. Okay? Maybe the company have limited budget. Maybe the company have limited equipment and funding. And maybe the co-worker support. So basically, all these things that are very limited or lack also can be a stressor for your stress. Okay? Constraint that interfere with the task performance indirectly threaten the reward status and job security. So basically, you want to do the job, but because of all these constraints, you cannot do it. Then you get stressed. We have this Work overload stressor. Work overload is working more hours more intensely than one can cope. So basically, you have to do long hours, and it's also quite stressful. And then affected by globalism, consumerism, and ideal workers now. So basically, like when you work for a Japanese company, you have to come early and then leave late, later than your boss, because it's kind of no, workers no, the ideal workers no. Okay, become a workaholic, right? So work overload also one of the stressor. And then another thing is interpersonal conflict, disagree with one another uh, at the workplace. It can be dysfunctional because of it lead to stress, and then can lead to this counterproductive behavior and do things like bad to your uh, co-workers or colleagues. Contohnya sexual harassment kan, ataupun you do something like calling your colleague with specific names that they don't like, right? So basically, psychological harassment, the hostile, calling names, saying things that bad to our co-workers, that is also can create stress. Okay, and then task control. I think I miss all those task control. It means that you have low task control. Okay, so basically, lack of control over tasks is something that also can potentially uh, create stress. Okay, you have you have to do the work, but you don't have control over the task. You have to refer to someone else, okay, to do the task. Okay, so basically, this is also one of the stressor that can affect the stress. So basically, individual differences in stress. Different threshold level of resistance to stressor. Some people they easily get stressed. Some people they have higher resistance on stress. Don't get stressed. They just coping with the stress. And then how you cope with the stress is also different. Different people use different methods to cope with the stress. Some people they just sleep because of to remove the stress. Okay, they just lie down and do nothing because of to coping with the stress. And then one more thing is resilient to the stress. The level of resiliency to the stress also different due to the personality and coping strategy. So, like I mentioned earlier in chapter 2, I think those who have high neuroticism is someone that easily gets stressed. Okay, so if you want to have high resiliency in stress, then you have to lower down your neuroticism and have more emotional intelligence. Okay, so workaholism is sometimes also uh, workaholism is someone that working hard, highly involved in work, but low enjoyment. That you have low in terms of inner pressure to work, low enjoyment of work, low in terms of your feelings. So basically, some people they like to do the work. Okay, they like to do the work. They like to be workaholic, right? Okay. That is the kind of personality. Right. So next one. How you manage work-related stress. This is the ways how you manage the work-related stress. You can remove the stressor. Okay, there's many ways to remove the stressor, but some more common action involve assigning employees to jobs that match their skills and preference, reducing excessive workplace noise, can minimize and remove the stress. You don't so identify the one that gives you stress or become the stressor, then remove it. Okay. Flexible and limited work time, job sharing, telecommunicating, personal leave, childcare support. This is also the way how we can reduce the stressor at work. Or you can withdraw from the stressor. Maybe you can use all those leave, annual leave to go for the vacation, or maybe you can have the stress break, right? To withdraw from the stressor and maybe change stress perception, make it funny, change positive self-concept, handle or coping with stress with humor. Okay, and control stress consequences is like you have healthy lifestyle, because sometimes stress need to eat more heavy intake on food. So basically, when you take more food and then your life become unhealthy, then you feel more stress. So healthy lifestyle is something that you can do. But you can manage your stress and maybe get more involved in the fitness and wellness, like to control your breathing, maybe meditation to reduce the anxiety. So basically, this is all things. Or maybe play sports, because when you play sport, there's a hormone that will released to keep you calm. Okay, and then last one is to receive social support. Create a surrounding where you have a very good co-workers, supervisors, family, friends, members that can provide you emotional support or informational support. Okay, so if you feel stressed, maybe you can find someone to listen to you, your clients, or maybe you can apa, give this you can land on them on their social support. Okay, so basically seeking social support is also called a stand and be friend. Okay, find a very good listener. Okay, right. So I think that's all for the chapter 4. Right. Thank you.